How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's having a good day. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to shut the door. Buddy. How is everyone doing today? I figured I'd let everybody cool down on the offering. We're going to go over the earnings call. There's a lot I learned from that earnings call. I learned a lot from this earnings call than I have, compared to a lot of other ones. He actually told us a lot of directions he was going, tons of directions he was going, tons of new revenue streams he wanted to pursue. I kind of figured, I'm not going to lie, when I heard that earnings call, I didn't think it was going to be the next day. I'm not going to lie. But, I did talk to some people, and I was like, I think we're going to get diluted one more time. And I'm going to play the clip for you why. Because the second he said this thing, I instantly, with all my my buddies in my Discord, I was like, guys, this is it. We might get diluted right here. Because these words, he pretty much kind of said it. And I was like, well, we'll get into it here in a second. But I want to go into earnings first because earnings were actually incredible. And the way that the company's going, it's heading in the direction that they're heading is actually awesome. Like I said, I actually learned a lot of things here. So I wrote all this down on a WordPad. So I'm going to be skipping around all over the place. But, when I get to the end, there's a ton of stuff that I want to cover that AMC is going into. But at the end of this, we're going to get into the offering. I'm going to get all your guys' opinions. We'll talk about it for a while. Like I said, I don't care if you don't like it. You like it, let me know what you guys think at the end here. We'll talk about the goods, the bads. Just don't be, obviously, a little deep, little crybaby about it. I don't want to hear you saying I'm sucking anyone's dick, anything like that. You can be big boys and girls in here. So, but let's get into this first. AMC earnings were fucking awesome, dude. A lot of the things that he said he wanted to pursue next for new revenue streams seem like fucking awesome ideas. One of the things, just to give you guys a quick example, towards the end of the call there, he, when they were asking questions, one of the things he was talking about was football. And a lot of people wanted him to get NFL games and things like that. And he actually said that they're actively pursuing a licensing agreement with sports. Sports are going to be the next thing that he wants to get involved in, and that's awesome. That's a massive revenue stream right there. We talked about the concerts, but we'll get into all that in a second here. But let's go into the numbers first. So I just want to show you guys just how big of a fucking difference of a turnaround the company is experiencing, and we'll get into why in a second here as well. But this time last year, we burned $226 million in the quarter. This year, we profited revenue of 12.4. So that's a massive turnaround, you guys. That's insane turnaround. From this time last year, you're no longer burning hundreds of millions. And this is, like I said, we had to stop this fucking bleeding here. That was killing us forever. We have been doing that for years, burning hundreds of millions. So that's a huge, huge turnaround. Well, let's get up into the numbers here real quick, and then I'm going to get into all the good stuff here that he was talking about and all this other stuff that is going to be massive for AMC here down the road. So we had $730 million in cash. Just so everybody's aware, that is what we're at currently. I know there's an offering right now. We are going to get into this later. If you haven't heard, there's an offering today up to $350 million worth. Not shares worth, dollars worth. And I know a lot of people are saying, why does it say August? It's because they already had this done. They didn't want to do all the new legal filings all over again and do all that stuff. So they just added an addition to this one. If you look at the very bottom, it will also tell you, and on the website itself, AMC's site itself, of the filing date. But the people that are wondering, it's right here on the bottom, November 9th. So we'll get into that later here, though. But let's get back into this. So AMC right now had basically its best revenue stream in its 103-year history. Revenue grew to $1.4 billion, which is awesome. One of the things I wanted to talk about here, though, is he's talking about how attendance was down, but revenue was up. And that's a big deal. This is one of the things that I talked about forever right away. And Adam Aaron, when he used to first started buying those theater chains, everybody was so pissed about it. Why is he buying these theater chains? You have to get profitable theaters and close down all of your underperforming theaters. So one of the things they talked about in that earnings call, which was awesome, is they've closed down 156 theaters and they bought 57 theaters. Those 57 theaters are outperforming those 156 theaters. That's 99 theaters they got rid of that was just burning and burning and burning money. And this is one of the problems right now with AMC as a company is it's so large. So you need a massive amount of that revenue stream, or you need to continuously cut out the middleman to where you're profiting more and more off each visit. So let's go back into this now. But that's a net loss of 99 theaters. And like I said, we need to keep doing this. And I wish he would do it at a lot faster pace. They said this quarter, they closed down 3 and they bought 1. That 1 is outperforming the 3 theaters. But like I said, as long as you can keep doing that, you're going to massively reduce cash burn. Another thing that they said that they were doing that I didn't know, and I was hoping we would do if we weren't, is they were going to the landlords and they were renegotiating rent. They got their rent dropped 5.6%, which will save them probably about $100 million. I mean, that's a lot of money. Probably in the entire year, I bet that'll save them about $100 million, if not about 50 to 100 million. Like I said, anywhere around there. I'm not too sure exactly, but I would guess about that. Adam Aaron, he said tens and tens of millions, if not 100. So like I said, put it around that number. But either way, if you can continuously reduce that. Another thing that I said I hope he goes and does is with all these studios, they're getting railed on, everybody asking for more, This to me would be a perfect time for all the theaters to get together and not have a strike, but just come together and say, hey, we want to, he doesn't even need all the other theaters. I don't really give a shit. He can go in there individually and just say, hey, we're a production studio and all this as well. We want to negotiate a deal, and we want to go ahead and make sure that we're getting more per ticket from you guys as well. Even if they get a 1%, 2% increase, that's a massive amount of revenue for AMC. So, going into the next thing here, we're going to get more towards the end of the thing, because I don't really want to sit here and just chalk up all the numbers, because it's like, who really wants to listen to all the number bullshit here? But one of the things he talked about also coming in November, and this is the thing, I mean, you guys, whether you like the board or you hate the board, if you don't agree with all their decisions, you have to admit, no matter what, they are coming out with new revenue streams left and right. And all the other revenue streams that they had, they're greatly improving on them. But coming out in November, you're now going to have chocolate, so we should have it within the next couple weeks. You're also in December going to get even more chocolate. He talked about, and then at the end of the call here, he said, if these take off like the popcorn did, then we're going to also distribute that into grocery stores as well. Now, he also said these things should taste awesome. He talked about how they use gourmet chocolate, because guess what? They own it. So they have better chocolate. And they're going to be able to charge the same exact price because they own it as all their competitors. Boom. If we can knock these dudes out of the water, like I said, another huge revenue stream. The one thing everybody, I just didn't get it. Everybody was like, why do you care when we get these new food things when we're doing this? That's our biggest profit margin. You want these foods. You want bigger spreads on these foods. You want better margins on this. This is how we make our own money. If you continuously kick out the middleman, guess what? They're even better revenue streams. Like I said, I don't get how everybody, there's all these little I can't say everybody. There's all these little crybaby trolls all the time that have to complain about anything. But it's like, dude, every time you get a new revenue stream and it makes your company more money, that's a great thing. How do you think you get out of debt? How do you think you become profitable? Oh, man. People crack me up sometimes. But another thing he said, we're going to go ahead and talk about what else is coming this year. We're going to be in all grocery stores. He wants, by Black Friday, he wants popcorn to be on Amazon. We're going to, over the next 2 months, we should be in Kroger's. And we should, by the end of the year, be public in all public grocery stores. So there we go. We now know a future of a lot of things coming out. So we're now, in the next couple of months, going to get candy. In the next couple of months, we're going to be distributing worldwide our popcorn. He wants to be on Amazon by Black Friday. Boom. Go ahead and sell as much as you can by Black Friday. Boom. So now we're getting a little more glimpse into the future on some things that Adam Aron wants to pursue. Like I said, the thing with the NFL deal, the fact that he's trying to, like he said, it takes time to get the licensing contract. It's not like you can just bust into the NFL and say, hey, we want to show you we want to show your games here. Sign the dot. Let's get going. So it's going to take a little time. But the fact that they're actively pursuing deals with the NFL, that's awesome. Like I said, could you imagine people that love sports watching this? They will be the people that will rent out a theater. They'll have a group of buddies. They'll all get in there and they'll rent that theater out. Sweet. And guess what? They're going to be drinking AMC's alcohol. Sweet. That's a huge profit right there. That's a huge revenue stream right there. Like I said, getting a deal with the NFL, like he said at the end of the call, sports, if that takes off, he can go into NBA, he can go into whatever else they want, UFC, any of those things. You can start showing fights. That would be awesome. This is a lot of areas that people wanted AMC to pursue. So knowing that, like I said, another great revenue stream there. Hold on. I'm trying to kind of stay a little bit on task here because, like I said, I made this. I was listening, and as he was going, I was writing things down. But another thing that I wanted to get into. Hold on. So they've been upgrading. So what they've been doing with the money so far, they've been upgrading sound systems. They have been upgrading laser projections. So they now have 37% of all of their locations are upgraded now to the new laser projectors. This is one of the ways that you get these non-profitable theaters profitable. You get them better sound. You get them better quality picture. And then eventually, the only next thing you could do is be like, well, does the seating suck ass? Because the one here in Apple Valley, dude, I'm telling you, I can't believe this one. The only reason the one in Apple Valley, I'm telling you, it was on the best location ever. It was right on Cedar Avenue. It's like one of the busiest roads. It's like in the dead heart and center of Apple Valley. And it closed. They tore it down. They put up some stupid furniture store there now. This was a super nice location. The only problem was they had those old fucking baseball stadium seats still. You would sit down and it hurt your back halfway through, and it was like, God damn, if this place just had better seating, just that, oh my God, it would have been just fine. But they had these stadium bucket seats. They hurt people's back. And right next door to it, and this is the one theater open, it's got those fucking recliner seats. It's like, goddamn, if AMC could have just got those fucking seats, boom, it would have took off. But, so right now, we got 37%. And what this also does, and the reason you put them also at these underperforming theaters, is you renegotiate the rent there. And then this also takes care of the electricity cost. It dramatically lowers the electric cost. So any way you can sit there and slowly lower places that are unprofitable, boom, even better. So like I said, they're upgrading sound, they're upgrading theaters, which is one of the things that Aaron said he wanted to do. Let's see here. The actor strike. Let's get into that real quick. The actor strike, great news for everybody. Like I said, the great news just keeps getting better and better. The actor strike is officially done. You now no longer have a writer strike or an actor strike for 3 years. Now, one of the things this has continuously done is this has pushed movies back. You just saw, I just posted on Twitter. There was like 3 movies. I forgot to pull it up. There was like 3 movies that just got pushed back that were sweet too. I like Spawn. I love the Spawn movies, but Spawn 3 got put, or Venom, not Spawn. The Spawn movie was badass, and they should remake a Spawn movie. That was cool. But Venom 3 got delayed. You had a whole bunch of movies here, man. God damn it, I had them. I don't want to sit there and just keep looking. But you had all these movies getting pushed back. You had Dune 2 get pushed back. So the nice thing about this is now you're going to have this stop. All these are going, no more delays. If we would have had Dune 2 in this quarter as well, this would have been a very profitable quarter for AMC. For almost all these theaters. You took away a $500 million movie and pushed it back. This is, like I said, if you guys follow Discussing Films on Twitter, they show you every single movie getting pushed back. I mean, I post as many as I can, but I post 60 a day, so I don't want to keep looking. But getting rid of these delays is massive for us. This is massive for us. You know, like I said, but one of the big things that this did is this also pushed back a lot of quarters. So 2024, Q2, Q3, Q4, those should do very, very well. And on top of that, you should have your gourmet chocolate out by then. Hopefully, you know, at this rate, especially with this offering, hopefully that advances alcohol faster. Because this is the thing with offerings, like I said, we'll get into that in a minute. But when you raise that cash, if you sit there and invest it like with the last one, they got the cash offering and boom, you got your candy out in November. You get the cash offering, boom, you get your fucking alcohol out. Just like that. We're going to get into distribution and everything in a minute. But the second you get your cash, if you're putting it into revenue streams, perfect. And you're also paying off debt, perfect. Now, speaking of debt, let's talk about the deferred rent. They have the deferred rent down now to $72 million. They're going to go ahead and pay another $20 million off next quarter. If they do that, that will be down to $50 million in deferred rent. They paid off year to date. We've raised $525 million. They've paid off $289 million in debt. Paid off $83 million in deferred rent as well. Since 2022, we've paid off $763 million in rent. But like I said, I'm not going to sit here and keep. In debt, not in rent. In debt. $763 million in debt, not rent. I'm not going to sit there and keep on doing a lot of these numbers here. I'm going to keep going down here. But like I said, over the next 2 months, we'll have popcorn in. Christmas, we went over all blah, blah, blah. Okay, so one of the things that they continuously talked about is the attendance actually was down, but revenue is up. Another revenue stream that they created that I said would help drastically is going to be those higher ticket prices. Getting higher ticket prices in those select locations. And a lot of people, oh man, blah, 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 they were crying about it, but guess what? That's also helping generate revenue stream. Popcorn going out. Like I said, every way that they could come up with new revenue streams are great for us. Deferring rent, getting that down. Let's see here. Now, one of the things before I get into the raisings here, let's get into distribution because this is massive going forward. And this is another huge thing that Adam Aaron talked about other than the NFL deal. He talked about the phone ringing off the hook. And I said that this was going to happen if Taylor Swift took off. And we're going to get into that in a minute here. But AMC is now going to be the gold distribution standard. They're going to go above. They're going to go to us before all other theaters. And they might even start going into us before they start going into these studios. Now, Adam Aaron talked about how next year he expects, because he was super, super happy about how much Taylor Swift has generated for AMC. And one of the things that I talked about with Taylor Swift is it's a lot different than us going to a movie. How many of you go to a movie and go, God, I got to get the posters, I got to get the merchandise, I got to get the popcorn tin. And I know a lot of you apes do that. But before you were an ape, because you got to think of the average consumer. Before you were an ape, how many of you guys were like, 15 years ago, how many of you were like, God, I got to get every single thing? Not many. And nationally, there's not many people that go, I got to get all the merchandise. But when it comes to these concerts, it's like 100%. Every single one of those little kids want a fucking Taylor Swift poster, the tin. They want, I can't remember the other thing. They had the baton thing. They had, I can't remember. It was like a thermos or something. Whatever. But they had all of their merchandise. Sorry, I did not. I cannot say that I saw the Taylor Swift movie. I went ahead and passed on that one. You have to let some of them go every once in a while. I couldn't suffer through it. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan at all. Other than the fact that, she obviously helped out AMC here. But that merchandise is going to be a massive revenue stream. And just to give, a little hint at what he was talking about, in 2022, merchandise sales, we only did $10 million, he said. You're already up to $50 million in 2023. That's a massive leap. We still got Beyonce and all this coming out. So merchandise sales, like I said, that's a massive revenue. That's going to be a massive portion of this Taylor Swift concert as well. They're all going in there and eating. Like I said, they saved so much money on going to a concert ticket. They're all going to go there and get all the candy they want, every poster, and you saw them all dancing with the little glow sticks. They were having the time of their lives, dude. Sweet. But that distribution, I think by the end, I thought, because, when I heard the numbers and I was incorrect here. And like I said, when I'm wrong, just like with basics, I'm going to tell you I'm wrong. But I overblew the Taylor Swift numbers. I thought that shit was going to easily do like $500 million. I mean, God, you had like $120 million in pre-sales, which is insane. That's like unheard of. And on top of that, every day I just saw nothing but Taylor Swift fucking Twitters. But I think that we should end around 325 distribution million, which that's a lot. That's still a very good chunk of change from AMC. You got to remember, they get the largest portion of that pie. On top of that, they get the distribution on all of that merchandise. Like I said, this is Adam Aaron was saying how much money they made was a very good chunk of change for them. And then he talked about Beyonce coming up. But he did say he does not expect Beyonce to do as much as Taylor Swift. I expect it to do about 175 million. Together, that's about 500 million. So together, I expect them to do about $500 million to replace Dune 2 with the updated numbers. Now that I see, just because it goes crazy on pre-sales doesn't mean it's going to go insane every single week. So my bad on all that, you guys. I did overestimate the Swifties. Well, I'm sitting there thinking, my God, if the concert's doing $1 billion and nobody can afford it, I figure, people that could afford this, maybe they'll go see this other thing. Maybe we could hit $500 million. So I apologize on that. But like I said, distribution, what he said, which was a massive going forward, is he expects several of these going forward with the world's biggest artists. And he's talking, and I think there'll be, and I mean, the way he was talking it up, he's talking like top 10 artists going on out there. So he expects that going forward, he said, in 2024, 2025. Now, what I want people to understand is that will, like I said, next year, this will be $1 billion plus revenue stream for AMC as a distributor. And that's just in concerts. I already showed you AMC is talking about getting into production. They're already talking about doing production on a Roblox movie in 2025. They're also looking at doing a production on a TV series. So AMC is looking at getting into production. Hopefully we can release a movie or two. That was one of the ideas I've been saying we should do forever. Just to give you an example. You had Friday Night at Freddy's. Now I understand it's not going to have the backing of a Friday Night, at Freddy's. But something like that only costed $25 million. AMC can do a movie like that. Do a $25 million investment. If you get good actors, and it even if it grosses $100 million, $200 million, $300 million, that's a massive profit. And that's just one. Imagine if you do 3 or 4 of them a year. And all of a sudden you're making a couple $100 million. Maybe, God forbid, you have one take off. And all of a sudden, like I said, boom, you're making movie and producing. You're producing them, distributing them, and you're showing them in your own theater. What is the profit margin on me making a movie, distributing the movie, and showing the movie in the biggest theater chain in the world? You're gonna kill it. You know what I mean? You're gonna destroy it. So that's another revenue stream that I really, really hope that he gets into after he gets done with this locking in the NFL deal and the sports deals that he wants to look into. I hope that's the next course they pursue, because we have a lot of people on the board that have production experience that can oversee it. So that would be stick them in the lane that they know. That's your area of expertise. All right, let's do production. Like I said, hopefully that's the very next thing. I mean, I feel like a lot of ideas that we've talked about and brought to him, production, I think if he will listen to something like that, because it could be a very profitable thing. To me, here's the thing to me. And I know there's going to be some people that are going to be mad about this, because here's the thing. I don't know. I don't really know. Like, people think I just love AA and I like AA, and like, I don't know how I feel about the guy sometimes, but I sit there and I go, all I need is my fucking CEO to keep getting this cash burn down, revenue stream done, and turn things around, keep doing things to where the business turns around. A lot of people didn't want to pay attention to the fact we were burning $200 million a quarter. That's a big damn deal, dude. That's a huge deal. I needed that to go away. It's finally starting to go away. You had back-to-back things. But back to what I was saying. To me, if you wanted an investment or you wanted to try something like that, and it's a payoff now type situation, because you saw also the way that AMC, like they handled with Taylor Swift. We got it, we took the concert, we developed it, and we got it out within a month for a distribution. Okay, so you can turn it around and get it out as soon as it's ready. Perfect. But one of the things to me, it's like, all right, now everybody don't get all cranky about this, AA lovers. This would, making a movie, a $28 million, $30 million investment in a movie is a better one than Highcroft Mine right now. I mean, I understood Highcroft Mine. You looked over, you saw a gold mine. If they hit mined, you would have struck gold and you would have killed it. Especially with inflation, the price of gold should have rose, especially with inflation and the way the economy's going. I get it. You took a $30 million risk when you shouldn't have. But if it would have paid off, you could have profited hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions. But again, to me, it makes more sense to, if you're a movie theater and all your people have production experience, that money could have went to a movie. And you might have saw profits right away to then in turn reinvest or do whatever. But like I said, if the gold mine would have took off, everybody would have been jacked and I wouldn't be talking shit. But it didn't, and here we are now. And I'm like I said, I think that a movie would have been better, but here we go. But like I said, this is now going to be us, the gold standard for distribution. This will be $1 billion plus revenue stream. Adam Aaron said the phone is, and I quote, phone's ringing off the hook with a significant number of the world's best artists wanting to work with AMC. I am very excited to see the numbers they will make this year, but I'm very excited to see the big numbers that we will make next year in 2024, 2025, and beyond. This will be in a very big money market for AMC. A very big money market for AMC. Yes, this will be $1 billion market going forward for AMC, especially when we start distributing our movies as well. Not only our own, but others as well. Like I said, I still hope we end up locking that movie in with that one guy. God damn it, what the hell is it called? It's like the new Shia LaBeouf movie that hasn't signed. I can't remember what it's called. The Chappella movie. God damn it, what is it? It's like something Grammatica or something. Whatever. I can't remember. But I still hope that we sign that deal. I can't remember everything. So like I said, he says that this should be a significant thing. He talked about, movies getting moved out of Q4, getting moved out of Q1, getting moved out of Q2, and how we needed the writer's strike to stop, and that was a massive hurdle for AMC. Well, that's gone. AMC's biggest hurdle is now gone as well. The only other thing that he talked about for hurdles now for AMC is debt. So now that's going to be their new focus, is signing deals. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Give me one more second. Okay, sorry. Didn't want to sneeze on the mic there. So he talked about the only thing basically now going forward is trouble for AMC is debt. So that's going to be their main focus, along with getting more sponsorships. Like I said, if we get this NFL deal, I mean, if it's already in the front, this is my thing to you guys. Here, I'm going to say it now. The NFL will end up doing a deal with AMC. If Adam Aaron says frameworks has been in place now, that means that they've obviously been getting in touch with each other. They've been working on this. He even said it takes a certain amount of time. Like, he even knew the time frame. Like, if he knows all this stuff, obviously they're beyond like, hey, we gave him a phone call. And he even said on the thing that they're talking about, like, so like I said, the NFL will be down the road for AMC. Will it be down the road for other cinema chains? I don't know. Maybe it's just an AMC thing. How sweet would that be if AMC gets an exclusive deal with them and no one else can show them, and then that's how they test it out. If AMC does well eventually down the road, then we'll distribute it to everyone else. Just like how we went with Walmart, hopefully they go with AMC. Now, hold on, give me like 10 seconds here. I gotta start reading because I have this shit all over the place. So we've negotiated, just to recap here now, this month, you're going to be in Kroger's. You're going to be in all Walmarts. You're going to have candy out this month as well. Next month, you're going Black Friday. On Black Friday, we are going to be on Amazon for popcorn. By December, we're going to have even more candy. And he's talked about also getting into suckers and other things like that. So we're basically going to have all of our own candy, which will be sweet. Hopefully he does those. I know a lot of people like those like snow cap things. Hopefully he does stuff like that. That'd be sweet. They showed a picture of it somewhere. I can't find the stupid thing. Too many damn tabs open. But hold on, give me 1 second here. So like I said, next year they have already been in touch. They expect to have several concerts next year with the biggest artists and 2025 beyond. So distribution is going to be huge. Like I said, profits. Revenue streams on top of that. Let me see here. Hold on. AMC. Okay, so one things I did want to mention, because a lot of people, why isn't AMC more profitable? Like I said, it's the size of AMC. It's the fact that we still have a lot of theaters that are losing money. We closed 100 of them down, but we still need to close down like another 150 of those. And if we can go ahead and get at least, another 40, 30 more, just like last time, to replace those, our profits are going to jump drastically. Now, one of the things Adam Aaron wanted to talk about and wanted to stress to us all, we're making profits with less attendance. The box office numbers are still down. They're still down from pre-pandemic levels. When the box office returns to pandemic levels, and AMC, think about it. Now AMC's revenue, they've now at that point will have cut out the middleman in every single way. They might even be making their own movies. So by the time the box office returns, they've already cut out 100 shitty theaters. Hopefully we cut out 100 shitty more. By the time the box office returns to pre-pandemic, guess what? We should be fucking destroying it. And I've already showed over the last 2 years, it's gone up over $2 billion each year. So if it keeps going up at the course it's going, next year we should basically be at pre-pandemic levels. So next year we should be very, very profitable. Not to mention, again, we're going to have a lot more concerts. We'll have our alcohol, chocolate, candy in stores, popcorn out as well. We're going to have a lot more movies that were in this quarter pushed back into next year. So next year should have a flood of movies compared to this year. One of the major problems we had this year was we had way less movies than we had last year. Way less releases than we had last year. So next year we should do a lot better. Like I said, I'm excited to see how much we generate next year per each quarter. Like I said, the only thing I can see next quarter is going to be a slow quarter for AMC. Just because a lot of movies in Q1 did get pushed back just like they did in Q4. But Q2, Q3, Q4 has absorbed all of those movies that were in Q1 and Q4 of this year that got moved back. So again, we should have a huge Q3 and Q4 next year. Huge one. Now, let me see if I covered everything, and then we're going to get into the offering. Then I want to just let everybody write a strike. Let's see here. Chocolate. So merchandise sales we went over. We went over the debt payment. They closed 100 theaters. Okay. Now, we went over the gold standard. We went over the laser projectors. Why he would raise capital. So let me get into that. So now, after we went over all of the great things, I think I've talked about everything. Okay, so now let's get into the public offering here. A lot of people are pissed off. Like I said, if you want to look at it, here's the news. You can always look here for all of their filings. Otherwise, you can always look at the newsroom for updates as well. Now, if you pull it up today, we agreed to do another offering of up to $350 million cash. Not stock, cash. Now, I want people to listen to this. When I heard this, I knew we were going to dilute. Now, like I said, you can ask the people in my Discord that I was in my chat with. I didn't think it was going to be today, but good grief. Listen to this. I had a good feeling.
Years. Having ample cash on hand is the secret sauce. It is having sufficient cash reserves that has enabled AMC's resilience heretofore, and therefore we will continue to seek equity capital when it appears smart to do so.
He basically, right there in the beginning of the call, said, right in the beginning of the call, right when it appears to be smart, we're going to go ahead and raise more capital. The secret sauce is tons of capital on hand. And now he's going to have his capital on hand. What's going to happen? We're going to sell up to $350 million worth of stock. He's going to end up at, we were at what we're at. Sorry, 1 second. I'm going to pull up. We're at $730 million. So we're at $730 million. At the end of this, we will be over $1 billion. We'll have about $1,080 million in cash on hand. Now, I don't really know. I'm upset about this because it's like, I don't understand the point of doing it right this minute. I don't think that it was the best timing to do it. He said that when it was smart, and it's like, you know, here's the thing, because we're going to get into a lot of people's arguments. I'm going to go into my point, and then we're going to open up the chat. I'm going to go back and forth and let everybody talk here. But, you know, here's one of the arguments I'm hearing from everybody. Well, what he should have done is, on all this great news, on all this good stuff here, on us being this and that and this, we should have just let the stock rally, and then we should have done it. Okay, well, now, there's two counter arguments to that. Well, one, if he would have done that, you would have got mad and said he killed the squeeze, or he killed the momentum. So then you would have been mad about that. But number two, Murphy. Hold on. Dude, you can't chew on my shoes, baby. Sorry, he's munching on my shoes, man. What the hell was I saying? What were we just talking about? Oh, yeah, and then the other thing. So, number two, whenever we've had great news, when the hell's the stock suddenly just rallied right after? We've seen it all the time and time again. I mean, we'll come out, AMC basically could cure cancer tomorrow, and all of a sudden, so there wasn't like this, all right, we had a great earnings report. On any of our earnings, the shit drops. They dropped, I mean, we destroyed expectations. Destroyed expectations. And all they would have said is, well, you made $12 million. Yeah, but when you turn around from negative $226 million to profiting, when you were closing down, cutting costs left and right, bringing in new revenue streams, when you're constantly kicking people out, the middleman left and right, when you're opening up new fields as being a distribution company, all these things. So, if he would have waited, I mean, so if he would have waited, there's no guarantee it would have rallied. And like I said, then you would have been mad if he said yes. Now, like I said, I'm not sticking up for him because I'm not like happy about this. It's like, what the fuck? Why do we need to do this? I didn't really see a necessity. Like, what is the necessity? Unless you're gonna take this cash, I mean, you can't just tell me we needed ample cash on hand. Like it's the secret sauce. Well, okay, yeah, it's a good thing to have ample cash on hand, but it's also great to do smart things with it. Now, if he takes that cash and he goes, now that we have money, we can hurry up and get our we can go ahead and buy get our alcohol out faster. I mean, obviously last time he did it right after he got his money, like I said, right after now candy's coming out. So obviously when he gets this cash, all these revenue streams he talks about wanting to do, he puts that money towards getting that up and running, and he gets it up and running in a month or two. So that's a good thing that they do actually do. But at the same time, like, Q4, like, what do you expect us? Even if here, let me see. Even if the fucking, what do we got here? Hold on a second. Let me pull this up just so I can see the numbers. I don't want to, like, just kind of fucking spitball it. Okay. Pull up over here. So right now, we're at 640 million domestic box office, which is pretty low, especially compared to the last 2 quarters. This is, everybody, if you're listening, go see a movie. Go support your company. I'm going to say it every single time. We need these numbers higher. We need this to finish. We used to do about 2.6 to be profitable. I would say with the distribution of Taylor Swift and with, Beyonce, we probably need this to hit about 2.3 to still 2.4 to still be profitable. If we still get about 28.8% with all this other stuff. But it's like, unless you think Q1 is going to be that bad, what the hell I don't really know why we needed to raise it this minute. If you wanted to capitalize on good news, on, hey, maybe the stock should rally here because we had all these great earnings reports. I guess, I don't know. I'm honestly still confused about this, man. I'm making an excuse for AA again. Well, if you're that handicapped and you're that uneducated, you can go. Bye-bye. You don't need to be here. Like I said, if you're that stupid, at what moment did I say, this was a great idea? None. You say one fucking stupid comment. I'm just done with that shit, dude. Any trolling is just going to get you banned from now on. Like I said, I'm done with that shit. If you're too childish to know what a reason is and call it an excuse, then you're not here to learn. You're here to whine. Get the fuck out. I'm done with it. I'll block you from Twitter every fucking time. And this. In zero fucking mood. Again, I am not happy about this. I don't understand this in any fucking way, shape, or form. This, to me, was unnecessary. If you did it just to have the secret sauce of a lot of cash on hand, well, what the fuck? Like I said, 730 million, still enough. And I still think this quarter we should be profitable. Maybe not fucking a shit ton, but profitable enough. Where it's like, dude, you could have waited. But again, if he waited, like I said, I don't know. If he waited, maybe they attack it because Q1 numbers are going to be bad next year. Or right away. I don't know. I'm just curious. What are your guys' thoughts? What are your guys' thoughts on this offering? Like I said, if you don't agree with it, I don't care. You don't say you think it's fucking awful. I'm not going to kick you for doing any of that shit. The second you say anything childish about me sticking up or, oh, you suck his dick. No, I don't. When I just told you I don't agree with him, how is that sticking up for AA or sucking his dick? No, you're one of those idiots that are coming in here to just, anything I say you're going to spin and say, see, he stands up for him because he's paid off. Yes, I'm paid off because I said I don't agree with this offering. Said I'm not knocking the guy. I just don't truly understand this exact moment why we did it. I don't. But earnings were fucking amazing. All that new information we learned about the company, where it's heading forward, is sweet. If AA thinks we needed more cash on hand, as long as he puts that towards good use, like I said, getting the alcohol in faster, getting this distribution out, maybe he needs more get more popcorn ready for going mass production. Maybe, I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't know in the background, but a lot of this money costs, a lot of it to, make money, it costs money. To get all these things we want to get done costs money. The only thing I could sit there and think, but I don't know, man. All I know is this: if we're buying the dip, here's the thing. Whether you agree with AA's actions right now or not, if you agree with the movement, if you believe in the movement, I see it every day. I see it. I just saw it over and over and over and over on Twitter. People are buying 500 shares at a time. You think anyone gives a shit? People that are true to the movement don't care because they know AMC needs to raise capital. They're going to keep buying and buying and buying and buying. This isn't a way for shorts to suddenly just get out because they suddenly got 40 million shares. We've seen what they've been doing forever. You're seeing the banks. Look at the banks I just showed you the other day that just got absorbed. UBS. They took a $728 million because people are shorting and doing all this illegal shit in the derivatives market on our stocks by the hundreds of millions. We will buy those shares up in fucking 2 days. 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Now we're getting them at a discount. The movement will keep going. The play's not dead because we raised more capital. But again, I just don't know why he raised capital today. Yeah, I'm going to see Wonka. My wife loves Willy Wonka. She definitely wants to see Wonka. Like I said, there's a lot of great movies. We should definitely break 2.3. We should be profitable Q4. And that's what I'm saying. If he thinks we needed more cash on hand to get through this last little part, now the writer strike's over. Now there's no more movies getting pushed back. You want to get that last income here to finally get those last revenue streams out before all of a sudden all the movies take off. And you expect next year, Q2, Q3 to Q4 to blow up. And you want to have your chocolate in. And you want to have your popcorn out. And you want to have your alcohol in. Hopefully by then you have this NFL deal done like you were talking about. Hopefully you have more projectors in all of these laser projectors, better sound systems in all these theaters. So more people keep coming back. Hopefully you can renegotiate even more of these deals. Like with this rent. Pay down more debt. Like I said, AMC has a lot of things going forward for them. Hopefully, like he said, if there's 7 people that they already have artists next year, that's going to be $1 billion revenue stream. Next year, he could start smashing down debt with all of this stuff. But like I said, I just don't know. I don't agree he needed to do it, but if he's going to go ahead and shore up the books again, get all these revenue streams 100% up, operational, boom, 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 and it takes that extra money to get them up, operational in these months. Get everything you can get in for your business. Get all these middlemen out as fast as you fucking can before the box office returns. Because when it returns into full, you need to be maximizing your profits. Oh, yeah, you knew the shills were going to come in, dude. That's why I just didn't care. I mean, maybe tomorrow I wake up and I say it's a better idea because of this and this and this. People could change their minds. They can learn new information. But right this moment, I don't know. I was super pissed when I woke up about this offering. And I'm like, well, I'm super pissed because I feel like everybody else is just reactional. And that's fine. We're allowed to be. We've been getting fucked. But it's like, last time the offering came, it's like the price went right back up. Just because the offering comes doesn't mean the price isn't go back up in 2 weeks. And then everybody sat there and raged out for fucking nothing. But guess what? Your company raised $350 more million. Your company just opened up and, got their alcohol out. Maybe they need this money too also. Maybe they're doing a movie. I don't know. Like I said, they already showed you they were doing production. Maybe they want to ramp up their production. There's a lot of things that they could be doing. It's hard for me to say exactly what they're doing because I'm not behind the scenes. But all I know is every time we raise capital, he does come out right after, and they have brand new revenue streams coming out. So at least he's putting it into the company and making it better. But yeah, I agree. This is fucking... I don't know why you did it now. When you have 730 million still, it's quite a bit of money. And if we're not burning cash, like we were in these quarters before, where you're burning hundreds of millions, I feel like this was the time to just kind of wait a minute. You know what I mean? Kind of let the good news sink in. Kind of show everybody, you know, we still have good capital. Let the Taylor Swift numbers come out. Let things like that happen. Maybe after Q4 numbers come out, you have great numbers again. But I mean, like I said, I don't know. We know that these fucking pieces of shit are gonna cheat and do whatever they can anytime why did the stock go down? Because anytime AMC is going to raise capital, they're going to crush it so you don't raise as much capital. Duh. It's just common sense. Everybody, that's not an excuse. It's common fucking sense. If I'm your enemy and I know you're gonna raise money, I'm gonna hit it right before you can raise it. Duh. I mean, that's the thing. People like to forget that you have an actual enemy. You have a person, an opponent, that wants your investment to go to zero. I mean, I'm not trying to talk shit. Well, I don't even want to bring up Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know what the fuck is going on in Bed Bath & Beyond anymore. That stock, I mean, I don't know if the shareholders are still not giving up or think they're going to be saved, but I don't know, man. But like I said, everybody that's super pissed off, next week the price will be right back to $9-10 and everybody will be... Just calm down. Like I said, I get it fucking sucks. I get everybody saw the thing and was like, why the fuck did we raise capital? The only thing I can say is yeah, we profited 12 million, which we smashed all the things, but again, we only profited 12 million. That's not enough to pay our debt. We need to get that number up higher. It's not enough to pay the debt. But, and if he wants to explore all these new, these other new revenue streams and pay debt down, he had to raise more capital. It's the only thing I could think of. Like I said, it's the only way for him to raise more capital, have cash on hand, and explore new revenue streams. Yeah, I don't think this kills the short thesis. The one thing people always go, well, fuck. The one problem people have with dilution, I tried to say this a long time ago when he wanted to raise capital at a way higher price than all this. We wouldn't even need it, ape and all this shit. But I was a shill that day. Just because there's dilution doesn't mean a short's going to buy it. Why the fuck would they buy it? Why would they care? If I'm a short and I don't think you're going to be able to raise enough money, I'm not going to buy the fucking share. I have no reason to buy it. I'm not going to buy it to cover my position. If I don't think you're going to raise enough capital, I think your stock's going to go lower. So if I'm a short and you do a share offering, I have no incentive to buy your fucking shares. I think it's going to go lower. I'll buy them when it drops. So everybody that sat there and goes, well, you're helping out the shorts, you're giving them shares. No, he's not. They're giving out to the fucking public. We're buying them. We are. They have no incentive to buy a fucking thing. They don't think you're going to raise enough. And they don't care if they think that, or they don't think that, definitely don't think you're going to raise enough to change their short thesis. And they think the price is going to go down because of dilution news. So they're not going to go, well, yeah, let me buy this here. And no, they think it's going to drop and drop and drop. They're going to let it drop. They don't give a fuck. So that was literally one of the biggest FUDs about dilution out there going around. The only people that bought the dilution shares are going to be us. And maybe some public shorts, like some retail shorts, but I doubt even the retail shorts covered. What happened to the 40 million shares last time? They didn't raise the share price at all. They used it to open up, obviously, chocolate. They spent some. They upgraded theaters. They bought a new theater. They had to pay some money to help do the renegotiations. You have to pay them a little up front to get the stuff down for long term. It got spent into the business on trying to improve it to where they're not losing as much money, trying to get more profitable. So all that money they raised last time went into improving the business and shoring up the balance sheet a little more. This one's going to go back into improving the business, shoring up the balance sheet again, and paying down more debt and getting rid of the deferred rent. But I don't know why the hell he would ever need to dilute again after this one. Because if we're over 950 million by the end of Q4, Q1 of next year, like I said, all the movies, you got all your new stuff in, you kicked out all your middlemen. You should be starting to make enough profits next year. And like I said, now you're getting you're in full distribution mode. You got 7 concerts. You get your NFL deal going. You get your chocolate out. You get your popcorn out. They said they want to expand on merchandise. I already showed you one from 50 million. He wants to make merchandise a $100 million thing for a revenue stream for him. So next year, we should be making a ton more profit than we are now. On top of that, they're going to be closing a ton more of these shitty theaters and buying better ones. None of our debt at this point, other than the one, is due till 2026. So it's like, at this point, Billy shouldn't need another fucking operation. At this point, Billy's, white blood cells here, the revenue stream, should start to take care of it going forward after Q1. We shouldn't have this fucking problem. So I don't know why he would never need to do another one now. For sure. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? If we do another one, I'm going to have to, go, what the fuck? For sure. Like, what? You can't just sit there and dilute forever and say, well, we're turning things around. But like I said, if this is to get through a rough maybe he doesn't expect numbers in Q4 to be as much, and to get, Allison, he thinks he might have a rough Q1 because all those movies got pushed back. Okay, and he wants to expand and again shore the balance sheet one more time. All right, but at this point, revenue stream should start taking over. All right, I'm going to just let the chat talk for a little bit, and then we'll respond here. What are you guys thinking? So great earnings and strike is over. We're down. We're down because of the news of dilution. They went ahead and attacked it as much as they could. Anytime you're going to go ahead and dilute, of course, they're going to go ahead and make sure that you get it at a cheaper price, and they're going to hit it hard. I use my income for my part-time job to buy AMC, and that's my point, dude. The real movement doesn't give a fuck. All the people whining, there are people out there that are in the movement and just can't afford it. I get it, and they're down big, and they're like, what the fuck are we doing here? And like I said, those are the people that I tell all the time, dude, you gotta go just relax for a couple weeks. Stop watching this every day. Stop watching the ticker every day. You'll get an alert and shit when it starts to go off. Just relax. Take some time off, dude. It's going to be a while. You're taking on fucking billionaires. And they're cheating. But I show you guys in every one of my streams how those billionaires are crumbling upon themselves. They're cheating and lying too much that they can't stop it. It's going to collapse on itself. The government can't stop spending. It's going to collapse on itself. The banking system's already exploding within. That's going to come into the market to where these guys can no longer bail these fucking hedge funds and all these fucking banks and all these Citadel fucking pieces of trash that are shorting you guys. Those are the ones that are imploding. So they can't bail each other out anymore. And then you're going to end up having Sam Brinkman-Frieds, where they're all pointing fingers at everybody. The dude literally told on Jane Street. Jane Street taught me everything. Okay, guess who they went after? Jane Street will be next. Jane Street will be the next person to be investigated. And I'm just going to clap. Because guess who else went to Jane Street? That fucking Harrison guy. The dude that blocks everyone on Twitter. That FTX Harrison guy. The guy that was like the CEO Plant. Can't remember. Oh, Brett Harrison. Brett Harrison. The CEO Plant. He started at Jane Street. So that's where they learned all the fucking manipulation. Then he comes on over. Oh. And then he leaves conveniently a couple weeks before the investigation. Yeah, we know. What a joke that was. But that's why, you guys sit there and it's like, you guys, it's going to take, it sucks. We're taking on billionaires. We're taking on fucking billionaires that have the government backing, and now the government's imploding in the back end because it's been backing them. And eventually the government's going to have to say, I can't keep backing you. We're fucking trillions in debt. I showed you guys the reserve is almost $2 trillion in debt in actuality because of how much they've lost on their assets and their holdings. The Federal Reserve is not in a good situation right now. The banks that are backing them out are literally relying on the feds and those FHL loans. Well, those are fucking failing. Now, guess what? All that commercial real estate's going to come collapsing on them as well. They're going to have so many ticking time bombs. Hit these fuckers in the back end. They're going to have no choice but to margin them. You just saw all those new requirements coming up because even regulators are sitting there going, okay, we're in like a credit crunch and we know we're being paid to look the other way, but at some point, dude, it's just got to collapse. People are going to start, like I said, you're going to have, nobody can afford a fucking thing. And now people are paying off all their bills with credit cards at a 21% average rate. This is not sustainable. Eventually, you're going to have riots and shit go nuts. They're going to have to start to have answers. People, like I said, next year should be fucking insane with what's all going on in this country. Fucking insane. I thought the split was supposed to make AMC debt-free. Man, it was supposed to. It was supposed to definitely make us raise a ton of capital. Maybe not debt-free, but it's supposed to make us raise a ton of fucking capital. And they smashed the price down as hard as they could. But still, in the end of the day, it's better to raise the capital we're raising at now than what we would have raised it at with APE, which would have been 55 cents. So everybody that still thinks this was the way not to go, you still would have sold billions of APE just to get to this number. Billion. You would have sold a billion, probably 1.3 billion APE already. Easily. And everybody would have went fucking ballistic. And then all of a sudden they would have been able to convert it just like they wanted to do before. And next thing you notice, they would have had a 1.3 billion more fucking shares floating out there at 50 fucking cents, 40 cents. Because the only thing that propped APE, remember, APE was dropping and dropping and dropping. And when Antera bought it at what the fuck, 66 cents? If Antera went to, they only bought it because there was a conversion maybe. If they would have sold, and nothing happened, that thing would have dropped down to 50 cents, 40 cents. And we would have been selling at that number. So we still saved hundreds of millions of shares. Hundreds of millions of shares that we would have had to dilute that we didn't have to through the conversion still. APE was a plague, and that's why I said it. Billy had a fucking plague called APE. It was necessary at the time because, like everyone, here's my point. Here's my point to you guys, and I want you to really listen to this and understand the people that are mad about this stuff. Some of this stuff. And I'm not saying they don't have a right to be mad, because they have a right to be mad about a lot of this stuff. But here's the thing. These people said no to dilution that second time. Okay? They said, Adam Aaron, just figure it out. Okay? No dilution. Then Adam Aaron had to create APE. Because without those shares, he even showed you, without the amount of money we raised from APE, AMC would have had $180 million. We would have been bankrupt almost. We would have been literally at $180 million in cash and reserve. And those are the same people that go, why did we need APE? So in other words, basically, you would have just let us just burn. Here, I'm going to show you guys again. So we should have just kept burning through the cash all the way gone to zero? No. You had to raise capital. I've been saying this every day for years. If you've watched my channel, I've never been like, guys, we don't need to raise capital, dilution. No, I've always been for it all. Until today. This is the first time when I'm like, I don't really know if we needed this one. I don't really understand it. The only way this makes sense is he wants to get fucking alcohol going faster. He wants to shore it up. He wants to be able to pay the debt. He wants to be able to pay the deferred rent. And he thinks that we're going to be profitable in Q4, or maybe not profitable in Q4 as they thought, or we might barely lose a little bit. I don't know.
I can't tell you exactly his train of thoughts, but that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Now, that's not me sticking up for Adam Aaron. That's me trying to say to you, when somebody says, why would he do this? That's me saying, I think because maybe this. That's not me sticking up for him. God, people. Anytime I explain anything, I love it. Like, people ask me a question and I'll answer, and they're like, you're just sticking up for him. No, I'm explaining what you wanted to know. This is what I think he was thinking. But maybe it costs money to get this NFL deal as well. I don't know. Maybe he needs money for the NFL deal and for his alcohol. Maybe he wants to buy some more theaters. But like I said, he told you all of his plans. He wants more theaters. He wants this NFL deal. He wants to get alcohol in. He wants to get candy out. He wants to mass produce the popcorn. He wants to mass produce the candy if it takes off in theaters as well. Wait. He wants to upgrade more of his theaters, the sound system. He wants to get laser projectors in all of his theaters. We're at 37% currently. But at least now we know a lot of their plans going forward and how they're trying to improve the company, which, like I said, I learned a lot more from this call than I learned from a lot of other ones. I mean, from going from 227 million cash burn to positive, that's a huge recovery, you guys. That's an insane recovery. You go from burning 227 million to making profit. This is the first time since the pandemic we went back-to-back profit. But I want to stress this to you guys because a lot of people still don't understand this. Even with being profitable, from this quarter and last quarter, we still burned more money in the first quarter than we made in the last two. So we're still negative on the year. Now, again, we're completely turning things around, and this is exactly what you want to see in a company. But again, like I said, everybody, this writer's strike ending was massive for us. But like I said, we're still going to feel the effects of it in Q1. We will. I'm not going to sit there and say we're not going to feel it. Q1, the thing went down a little bit. Like, they lost a couple movies that I thought were pretty fucking good. And Dune, I'm pretty sure Dune got moved into Q2, if I remember right. Q2, Q3, Q4, AMC should fucking dominate. And like I said, if with this cash, raising this capital gets us 100% into our alcohol where we need to be for those massive 3 quarters and going on beyond. Because guys, look at the movie lineup in 2025. The movie lineup and stuff they're already talking about is fucking sick. Here, look at this. I even wanted to show you guys this too. This is actually sweet. I know this will fucking kill it. You want to talk about something that will for sure make potentially $1 billion. Look at this shit. Hold on, what the fuck is it? Here it is. Here. You want to talk about a movie that's gonna dominate? Here you go. Boom. They got Shrek 5 coming out. Shrek 5 ski. 2025. Oh, wait. Never mind, man. He updated it. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, they're talking Shrek and GTA. That's what I'm saying. You got a little Shrek ski coming out. Dude, that's huge. I don't want to show that. But like I said, you got a whole bunch. I mean, I wish I had this list on my thing. Oh, let's check out the repos. Boom! Repos under $1 trillion. And they're gonna keep going and going and going because banks have less and less and less. And you notice the key here, less participants. You're seeing we had 100 and 107. We're down to 94. So you have 13 less banks now participating in the repos, and the one that are actually doing it at a less rate because these banks have less cash to park overnight at the repo facility. They're like, fuck it. And like I said, this once again, who does this hurt? This hurts the feds. This hurts the government because they can't give them the coupon rate in the treasuries, and they can't take that cash now and put it into overnight index funds and make money off that cash that is parked there. So now the United States is getting hurt by this more and more and more. And this is part of the bubble that I was talking about. This is part of the bubble that they are creating. They're collapsing each other. The feds are running out of ways to back the banks, and by continuously raising the rates, the banks are getting less and less cash because more and more and more are leaving their deposits. They already lost $1 trillion. I'm sorry, they lost $1 trillion in deposits in 2023. They're set to lose $1.6 billion in deposits next year. 1.6 billion more trillion more in deposits. So if they lose, according to those things, if they lose another 1.6 trillion, not a single bank now is going to have enough, because you got to remember what happened when COVID started. Oh yeah, the banking committee went ahead and they canceled out the reserve limit. So now banks, instead of having that reserve limit of their customer deposits they need to have on hand, they changed it to 0%, which means that none of these fucking banks have enough money even to cover their deposits. None of them, that requirement they used to have to hold, they're not holding any of it. They're spending it all. Every penny they get, they go out and they risk it. And that was part of the COVID thing. Well, when COVID ended, the banking committee decided to keep it. Well, they should have fucking reversed it right then and there. And all of those banks should have needed to get that money back into them and hold that on in case the customers needed it. But instead, that would collapse the banking system. Why? Because the banks already spent that money. So every penny you put into them, they've already fucking spent. They have zero reserves on hand. None of them. They're fucking criminals. Now back to what we were saying before. Hold on, let me look at the stream. Let me make sure nobody's talking about anything. Road rage. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. As frustrated as people are, nobody's going to sell at these massive losses with retail. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Nobody's going to sell at these prices. Why would you take a fucking massive hit and just say, fuck it? At this point, you're going to ride it out. Number two, if they let the price raise, then AMC can raise the capital to get out of debt, and their thesis is fucked anyways. And number three, if they lower it to a certain number, retail's just buying it at this fucking discounted price at a rapid pace, and they're fucked anyways. So, like I said, eventually there's going to be so much liquidity behind AMC and hidden behind it. I don't know what these pieces of shit are going to be able to do. Hold on. Oh wait, he changed his fucking name. God damn it. My buddy, even in the financial report, god damn it, was his name. Does it fix the Fed? Is it this buddy of mine? No, he had was it Samuel? Oh yeah, here you go, by the way. Federal Reserve is actually insolvent. Federal Reserve is actually insolvent in the amount close to 2.5 trillion. I think it was him. No, might have been Sam. Hold on one second. Samuel. Damn it. I can't remember. Posted. I look at too much shit in a day. I can't remember. Never mind. I'm just gonna move on. I can't remember. I'm gonna show you guys there too. Too much stuff going on. Yeah, dude. We need a new movie. Problem is, we need to make it blow up again so we can get a fucking what's his name, a roaring kitty going. We'll have a movie with me, and there'll be Murphy will be the star of the movie. He'll be just watching me rage from the side. It'll be from Murphy's point of view. Watching me just rage every day about the fucking politicians and the bankers. But like I said, man, business-wise, everything is changing. Everything is getting better. We should be a lot more profitable. We're kicking the middleman out in every single way, shape, and form. Like I said, I know that the I know the dilution sucks, but again, if you're a short, you have zero incentive to buy the new diluted shares because you're not trying to cover your position and you think the price will go down from dilution. So that's a common FUD that it's going to hurt us. The only people that are going to buy the diluted shares are going to be us. Retail is still buying the shares. I've seen it nonstop on Twitter. People are getting it now at a discount because they dropped the shares. Within a week or two, everybody that's going crazy. Again, the price will be right back to $9-10 in a week or two, and everybody will be all better. But AMC will have raised another $350 million. We will again short up our balance sheet. We will now take that money and put it towards, again, more revenue streams like the alcohol, getting it in, maybe even getting ready to mass produce the candy. So if it takes off in a month or two, now we can get it out into grocery stores a lot faster than instead of waiting. On top of that, again, this NFL deal that he was talking about might cost money. I'm not sure. But nothing but great news for AMC going forward. And does anyone have any questions? Anyone want to say anything? Anyone want me to go over anything before we head out here? Well, like I said, I know a lot of people are frustrated about it. I get it. Like I said, I'm not happy about it. I don't really know how to feel about this dilution. But I understand it. If he thinks cash on hand is the secret sauce, like he said in the thing. If he needs this money to open up these new revenue streams and be, still have ample cash on hand in case, if this will help us get more distribution. I mean, like I said, it's all about how he uses the money going forward. It's not going to tank the stock price. Everybody, I know you're pissed. It's a reaction. Of course, like I said, this is nobody. The only moment I ever saw dilution coming again was the second he said those things I played for you in the beginning when I'm like, he just basically said he's going to dilute the stock. I just didn't expect it the next day. Man, if they end up getting gaming, like I said, if they're talking about adding sports, they already said they have 7 people. You guys, I don't think you understand. If somebody comes up and says, I have 7 of the top fucking artists next year already ready to go. They already want to work deals with us. The phone's ringing off the hook. I can't get enough people. I can't, we could have, just because he said there might be 7 concert movies next year, there might be more. If it's ringing off, he's turning people away. AMC's turning people away. This distribution alone, when it's up and running fully, this distribution alone is going to be able to pay off AMC's debt over 2024, 2025, 2026. The distribution alone. If he can keep doing, like I said, especially if they get into movies. If he can get into the movies also, holy fuck. If we do start working into this production, like I said, if AMC starts creating its own movies, even if AMC makes a movie, only shows it at AMC, only shows it at Odin, you still have the biggest, the biggest fucking chain out there showing that movie. If other people don't want to do it and say, no, fuck you, fine. We'll show it at our own theaters and we'll make fucking 100% profit. Fuck off. Since we're making 100% profit, we don't need to show it at every single one either. And then when they get their heads out of their ass and say, well, we need content and this is a good movie, and also we show it worldwide, boom. Like I said, I really hope our next step after he stops focusing on this NFL deal and these sports deals, I really hope they focus on production. I really hope they focus on a movie or two. God, that would be sweet. Alrighty. I don't know what the hell. Like I said, next week we'll go up. We'll be back up to $9-10. Be right back at it. Everyone will be fine. Just calm. Week or two, all that will happen is your company will be fucking $350 million more in the bank, and like I said, they'll have new revenue streams faster here now. Billy had a little staph infection, and then we went ahead and popped it on up here. But like I said, next year, the thing is too, you guys got to remember, all the money we're spending on right now, like getting the popcorn up, buying this fucking chocolate thing, you're not seeing any of the kickback until next year. So next year, you're going to start finally seeing profits from those investments. So it's not going to be like, God damn, it seems like we're just spending money all the time. Eventually, like I said, by next year, you're going to have so many fucking new revenue streams up, running, fully in place, fully operational. You're finally going to see the fruits of all your labor. Right now, we're fucking still, we're using the hoe in the field. We're still, holding up the dirt, planting the seeds, watering that bitch. Next year, you're going to have your trees. But like I said, you should have seen how jacked he was with the Taylor Swift concert alone. And then what he said, how like he was salivating about, oh God, you guys, I can't wait until next year and the year after. Yeah, I know, me either. When it's suddenly making fucking $1.4 billion. I mean, if he does 7 people, you're looking at like 100, 125 million, 150 million. A movie and then you made $1 billion? Well, if he's getting the top artists, they should all do that and then some. Boom. You're feeling real good. You said AMC, I learned a lot from that call. I'm so glad to hear that he's trying to do a deal with the NFL licensing like that. The fact that he brought up specifically football, the fact that he specifically said that it's taking, a long time to get a licensing deal with them, and he already has a licensing deal with college, shows you it has to be the NFL. So AMC should be getting involved with NFL, and that's fucking awesome. That could be a huge, huge thing. Especially if like I said, people go to B-dubs. Some people go to B-dubs just for the game, to drink. If you have your own alcohol and you bring people into their own theater and they can rent it out with their buddies, with their kids, they can drink, they can do whatever, kids can eat, party, run around, do whatever they want in the theater. That's a huge, like I said, that's a huge revenue stream right there. So, said, hate AA, don't like AA. The only thing you have to admit about the man is at least they are coming up with brand new revenue streams every single other week. Alrighty. Well, I think I'm gonna go. There's not too many there's very many questions in the chat. A couple people complaining. But does anyone have any questions? Otherwise, I think I'm gonna head out. Anyone have any questions at all? Well, like I said, guys, I know a lot of people are pissed about it, but, trust the process, man. You got to trust the process. And some of you have no choice but to trust the process. I get it. You want to yell at people. You want to be, you're allowed to be upset, and that's fine. But you also don't have to come at certain people that are just trying to give you information and say that they're paid by AA when you ask them, why would he do something, do you think? Because I'm telling you why I thought what you asked. That's it, dude. That's all I'm doing, man. I'm here to educate you because, if you had nobody talking to you about what would be going on right now, for all you people that hate you, the YouTubers that are trying to inform you, what would you be doing right now if you had nobody to talk to, nobody to inform you what's going on, and you were just sitting there watching the stock price every day? Would you be going fucking ballistic? What would you be doing? You got people out there showing you the real shit the news should be showing you. What would you really know if you didn't? So, just remember that, my friends. Have a good day, guys.